Khazanah Nasional Bhd should disclose what it intends to do with the proceeds of its divestment of stakes in government-linked companies GLCs, said DAP National Publicity Secretary Tony Pua. Khazanah has been selling down its stakes certain GLCs, including the recent disposal of 86.75 million shares in Khazanah Nasional Bhd (TNB) at RM8.10 each, totaling 703 million ringgit. In October and November, Khazanah sold about 95.6 million shares of Plus Expressway Bhd, raising more than 310 million ringgit, and in September it sold a 5% stake in Malaysian Airports Holding Bhd. Pua, who is also the Member of Parliament for Petaling Jaya Utara, said it was uncertain if these sales were made with the sole intention of increasing the free float of these companies.
However, I want to ask, on certain of the transactions, for example, the most recent transaction, some of the transactions they have done, the most recent one being they sold 86.75 million of Khazanah Nasional shares at RM8.10 in exchange for 703 million. That's a lot of money, 703 million ringgit. Now, if this is really to promote free float, that means improve liquidity in the stock market, if you look at who the shares were placed out to, 50 million of the shares out of 86 million goes to EPF.
He raised two particular questions on that matter.
Will Khazanah be channeling these funds back to the federal government, which at this point in time is desperate for additional funds, to top up its declining oil revenues? We saw how Petronas profits has dropped by half recently, and to plug the budget deficit, which is under pressure. It may possibly appear that the government is so short of funds that it's not only raising new taxes, we've seen credit card tax, we've seen GST, we've seen real estate property gains tax, but it's also selling down its GLCs to raise additional funding for its revenue. So we want to know where this money has gone. Now, if this money is not going to the government, we also like to ask, will Khazanah be utilizing these additional funds to top up investments in its biggest projects? Iskandar Malaysia, which is facing shortfalls in investment due to its over-dependence on Middle Eastern funds such as Dubai World and DAP properties. We know that a lot of these funds are facing liquidity issues. Some have invested, have pulled out, cancelled contract and pulled out. Some have invested, promised to invest about 15 billion, but they have put in 150 million and said there's a cap, we are not investing anymore. So is Khazanah selling GLC stocks because it needs money to complete the required infrastructure for the land, which has been sold to foreign investors as rumoured in the financial circles? Both of which do not bode well for Khazanah. Because if these two are true, then the real reason for Khazanah selling down the stocks is not to improve liquidity, but to actually raise funds for either itself or for the federal government.
Pua said Khazanah must fully explain its actions to ensure public funds are not abused.